All right, guys, so this is my video showing you how to do part 2 of our final exam. I'm using the sample problem that I posted on the document. You will note I added a new rule to that document that you may not do a pentagon. Since I'm showing you how to do a pentagon here, you need to make a polygon with a different number of sides, keeping in mind that the central angle cannot end in a 0. Okay, so here we have a regular polygon, which means all 5 of these sides are congruent to each other, and we are given the radius of 4. Ideally, your problem should have a unit on there, like centimeters or feet or something like that, but that's what I have here. Okay, so since I know the area of a regular polygon is 1/2 AP, I know I need the apothem, which is this. And I need to know the perimeter, which means I need to know the length of one of the sides. I have neither of those things. All I have is this radius distance of 4. So what I need to do is I need to figure out some information on the angles and use that in order to solve for this triangle that I have created here. Well, of course, we know that a circle has 360 degrees. And I know that this pentagon is divided into 5 congruent triangles here. So if I take 360 divided by 5, I get a central angle of 72 degrees, meaning each of these angles here is 72 going all the way around. Satisfies my rule that the central angle cannot end in a 0. Now, if I look at this bottom triangle where I'm really focusing, if this angle is 72 right here, that means it's split in half here as 36 and 36. That's getting awfully small there, so I'm going to redraw that triangle out here. And let's work within this triangle. So again, I've established that that's 36 degrees. The apothem is always perpendicular to the side. I'm told the radius is 4. I want to find the apothem A, and then I also need to find this. I'm going to call it X. Sometimes we call it P or S for a side. I'm just going to call it X here because I need to use that to find the perimeter. So in class, we had this where it created special right triangles, but this is not a special right triangle. So I'm actually going to have to use trigonometry in order to solve for these missing parts. So the first one is, let's do the apothem. So if I look at the angle of 36, I can see the apothem is adjacent to the angle, and 4 is the hypotenuse. Which one uses adjacent and hypotenuse? Well, that would be cosine. So I'm going to say the cosine of the angle of 36 equals the apothem over the hypotenuse. To solve for A, I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. That cancels that out. So in my calculator, ensuring, of course, that I am in degrees, I'm doing 4 times the cosine of 36, which, rounded off, it gives me about 3.24 for the apothem. I'm going to keep rounding to the nearest hundredth here. So now I've calculated the apothem. I need to calculate the perimeter. In order to get the whole perimeter, I need to find X. I'm going to do this in a different color, just so we can see what I'm talking about here. So again, I'm going to focus on that angle of 36 degrees. X is opposite the angle, and 4 is the hypotenuse. It always is the hypotenuse, no matter what angle I'm talking about. So what uses opposite and hypotenuse? That would be so, or sine, right? So we would say the sine of 36 equals the opposite side over the hypotenuse. So the other way I taught you how to do for these was you can type in the sine of 36 right then, and it's about 0.588 equals X over 4. I can put 0.58 over 1 and just cross multiply. 1 times X is just X. 0.588 times 4 comes out to 2.35. So I'm going to use this X, so recognizing that this is just half of one of my sides over here. If you saw me draw that X in there. So I'm going to multiply by 2 to get a whole side. So 2.35 times 2 is 5.7. So that equals one side. And I have to multiply it by 5 because I have a pentagon. So there's 5 sides to it. So the total perimeter here is 28.5. Now I have everything I need to plug into my original equation. Yeah, let's do a different color here to show that this is my final piece. So I'm going to do 1/2 the apothem that I calculated, the perimeter that I calculated, and now it's just type it into the calculator time. It's 3.24 times 28.5. I get 46.17, and I should put a unit here. Whatever your units are should be squared. Okay, so good luck with your video.